Chris Hemsworth recently announced that he would be taking a break from his acting career after he found out that he has a high risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. While working on his documentary series Limitless, which involves Chris exploring the different ways humans can live better for longer by taking on physical challenges such as diving in ice or climbing skyscrapers, the actor underwent some tests as part of the shooting process. The tests revealed Chris's high chance of developing Alzheimer's, which is the most common form of dementia and can cause memory problems, confusion, and communication issues.
To be honest, I didn't know what the test was at the time. The idea was they were going to do a deep dive into my blood work, look at my genetics, and on camera tell me what they found.
During an interview with Vanity Fair, the actor confessed that the test confirmed his biggest fear, adding he will now be trying to take preventative steps. Hemsworth learned that he has 2 copies of the gene ApoE4, one from his mother and one from his father, making him between 8 and 10 times more likely to develop the disease than those without both copies of the gene. What's more, is that only about 2 to 3% of the population carries 2 copies of the gene. After receiving the results, Chris felt like he needed to take a step back from his work as an actor so that he could focus more on spending time with his family. Once he's finished filming the documentary, his plan is to go home to Byron Bay in Australia to be with his wife, Elsa Pataki, and their 3 children.
Anyway, so I needed some me time and I came to Australia.
He explained, "It's not like I've been handed my resignation," but added the news really triggered something in him to want to take some time off. After doing a bit of research, Chris learned that some of the steps for Alzheimer's prevention consist of sleep and stress management, nutrition, movement, and fitness. He shared, "It's all kind of the same tools that need to be applied in a consistent way," adding, "It affects the rest of your life." While the results did not mean that he had a confirmed diagnosis of the disease, there had been more of a warning of his heightened chances of getting it. Chris also shared with the magazine that his grandfather had also been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Chris explained, "It's not a predeterministic gene, but it is a strong indication." The actor shared that the original plan for this series would have seen him receive all his genetic test results live on camera, but series creator Darren Aronofsky told him privately once they got the results. Darren said, "I don't want to tell him this on camera. We need to have an offside conversation and see if he even wants this to be in the show." Chris said the director then called him and told him the news, and he found it all pretty shocking.
You have an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease.
How much higher?
Probably somewhere between 8 and 10 times higher.
He shared that the conversation with Darren had been brief. His parents had been there when he got the call, and after being told the news, he explained everything to them. Both Chris and his parents had so many questions, and they weren't sure how to proceed after he was told his results. He confessed, "I didn't really know what to think. I was like, am I supposed to be worried? Is this concerning?" Chris was subsequently given the option of removing any references to Alzheimer's from the show, but decided to include his genetic risk to improve awareness and understanding. He admitted that he initially had the concern that he didn't want to manipulate it or over-dramatize it by sharing his results with the public. Instead, he wanted to create more awareness around the benefits of getting tested. But Chris feels like there is a positive side to having received the news. He explained that if he didn't have this information, he wouldn't have been able to make the changes to his life in order to try and prevent it. He shared, "I just wasn't aware of any of it, so now I feel thankful that I have in my arsenal the sort of tools to best prepare myself and prevent things happening in that way." What's more is that this whole process has given him a new insight into life.
Look, again, if it also can help people go, oh, maybe I could do some investigating here and figure out some ways to give myself the best fighting chance.
He understands now that if there's something that he wants to do with his life, he needs to just do it. Adding, "You don't know when your time's up. You don't know what tomorrow holds, so live it to its fullest." Chris explained that whether or not any of the information he's shared helps people live longer, the message he wants to spread is that it's about living better right now. During the interview, Chris was asked if he was planning on sharing the information with his kids. The actor shares 3 children with his wife, a daughter, India, age 10, and twins Tristan and Sasha, who are 8 years old. However, Hemsworth explained that he felt like they were all still too young to have grasped the concept or understanding of what his results meant, so he hasn't told them anything about it. He added, "One day, I'm sure I'll bring it up. They probably want to test themselves and find out." As Chris had already explained, he wasn't completely retiring from acting. On the other hand, he's been a lot more selective of the projects he wants to work on, especially since he's received his results. He shared, "Now, if something's going to pull me away from my family and my kids, it's got to be a positive, constructive, collaborative experience." The actor added that he had recently worked with George Miller on the new prequel to Fury Road, part of the Mad Max saga, and he said to his agent, "That's where I want to spend my work hours, with someone who is kind and collaborative and interesting." Throughout all of this, Elsa has been nothing but a supportive wife. For those of you who don't know, their love story is one for the history books. The couple got married after less than a year of dating, but their spark has never fizzled, and they've remained happy and more in love than ever before. The couple met after Chris was introduced to Elsa by a talent agent early around the beginning of 2010, and by September of that year, they made things official. Chris and Elsa tied the knot at the end of 2010, 2 months after making their red carpet debut. Looking back on his whirlwind romance with the Spanish actress, Hemsworth admitted that getting married quickly just felt right. Hemsworth shared that there was no great plan to any of it.
No, that's one of the things I love about him, and he does everything with such a sense of humor.
He and Elsa had been on holiday with their families at the same time, and they simply said, "Why don't we get married too?" They thought there was no better moment than the present, and having everyone together seemed like the perfect time. He added, "So we just did it."
My husband, Chris, I think the thing that he likes more about me, I think that I'm very positive. I'm usually very happy and smiling and just seeing the positive things of life.
They welcomed their daughter, India, 2 years later, and 2 years after that, they had their twin boys, Tristan and Sasha. After becoming a family of 5, Elsa admitted that she was ready to take on the motherhood journey as soon as she met Hemsworth. She shared, "Having the person that you love by your side and starting a family with them is the best thing that can happen to you in this life. You can't ask for more." Despite appearing like the ultimate power couple, Chris shared that even the strongest couples have their rough patches and require compromises. In a 2017 interview, he got candid about their relationship, saying, "In terms of work, she's certainly given up more than I have. She'd like me to step back and be at home with the kids more, and of course, I want that too." However, at the time, Chris felt like he was at a crucial point in his career, and he had to set up for longevity. After having children, his instinct was to make sure that he could provide for his family and give them everything that they needed. He added, "Every instinct and every moment of your time is consumed by that." Now, things have changed for Chris, and he understands that spending time with his family needs to come first before anything else. After being told that he's at high risk for Alzheimer's, he wants to make sure that he's at home with his wife and kids for as much time as he can be. In June of 2022, the couple made a rare appearance as a family for the premiere of Thor: Love and Thunder. Chris revealed that 2 of his 3 children even made cameos in the film. His daughter played the character of Love, and his sons played the young version of Thor. He shared, "It's really cool. They really wanted to be in it," adding, "It felt like a one-off fun family experience. I don't want them to now go and be child stars and actors. It was just a special experience we all had. They loved it. They had a great time." In honor of Elsa's 46th birthday in July, Hemsworth posted a sweet tribute on Instagram to celebrate his wife's day. He captioned, "Happy birthday to this gorgeous lady. Thanks for always being my rock to sit on, but way comfier. Love you." 1 month later, Elsa celebrated his 39th birthday with a sweet Instagram tribute. She shared a photo of Hemsworth in a bathtub with a bird on his head, and another snap of the actor with their 3 kids. She captioned, "Happy birthday to my favorite parrot trainer, kids handler, and wife tamer. There's nothing you can't do. We love you to the moon and back." There's no doubt that getting his test results must have been extremely frightening for Chris and his family. The news has given the actor a new outlook on life and has made him prioritize what's really important to him. It makes sense that Chris has taken this time to take a break from his busy career and be with those that he loves and prioritize his family and his health. We wish Chris only the best, and we hope that he enjoys his very much needed rest from the spotlight.